Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are now in Suramban, which is a city in the state of Negeri Sembilan. I almost wanted to call this a town because I was making a mental comparison between this city and the city of Kuala Lumpur, which is so much bigger. But in actual fact, Suramban has got its city status on the 20th of January, the year 2020. And as we walk around, I will give you a general idea or some general information about this city we call Suramban. Now, Suramban is actually the capital of the state of Negeri Sembilan in Malaysia, and it is located in a district called Seremban District. Its former name was Sening Ujong, until development took place in the 1870s when tin ore was discovered in this town, and that led to rapid development with the influx of Arabs, Malay and Chinese immigrants to what it is today. Now we are actually walking along Jalan Tengku Munawir in Suramban city. Now, when tin ore was discovered in Rasah way back in 1870s, and of course the Chinese came to work on the mine and the Arabs came to do trading, and the local Malays were primarily involved in farming. They were farmers, and Suramban is actually not very far from the Kuala Lumpur, which is the capital of Malaysia. It is about 30 kilometers. I came by KTM commuter, which is a train service, slightly more than an hour train ride from Kuala Lumpur. Now we will just walk around, and as we walk, I will tell you a bit more about this city of Suramban. And Suramban is actually located in the Lingi River Valley, which is actually in the foothills of Itiwangsa Range, and the general population of this city is 54% the Malays and ethnic groups we call the Bumiputras, and or rather 52%, and 24% Chinese, and about 15% Indians. The rest are non-citizens, making up about 7%, which is about 41,000. Negeri Sembilan, the state of Negeri Sembilan, which is relatively small compared to the other states, is about 6,680 kilometers square and has a population of 1.98 million. And Suramban, this city of Suramban, is about slightly less than 1,000 kilometers square, or to be exact, 959 kilometers square. And the population of Seremban District, or the city of Suramban, is slightly more than 500,000. And for your information, famous beach located about 45 minutes from this city is the Port Dickson Bridge, Port Dickson Beach, which is frequented by mostly locals because foreigners normally go to Penang and Pulau Langkawi where their beaches are more popular. But for the locals, Suramban and Port Dickson, the beach about 45 minutes from here by road, is famous with the locals. Okay, let's walk along this road or this street we call Sungai Ujong Walk and see what we can find. As I mentioned earlier, rapid development took place after the discovery of tin ore in Rasah way back in 1870s, and rapid development took place just like the other major towns in Kuala Lumpur, or for that matter in Peninsular Malaysia like Kuala Lumpur, where the moment tin is discovered, or in Perak for that matter, when the immigrants from China came to work on those tin mines. That was when development took place on a rapid scale. And Suramban or Negeri Sembilan is also known for rubber and palm oil or oil palm. This, you can see some pre-war shop lots dating 100 years back, some of which are renovated. Yeah, I think I must have slipped my tongue when I said Suramban is about 30 kilometers from Kuala Lumpur. It's actually 60 times 2, 60 kilometers. A slip of the tongue is of course no fault of the mind, and under the heat of this sun sometimes you can get a little bit forgetful. You can see this city is not very busy. Today being a Monday, not very busy. It's not a very big city as compared to Kuala Lumpur, Penang, and some other cities you find in Malaysia. Okay, we're in a main road now. While we are walking, I thought you might be of interest to know a little bit about the details of the Grand Ruler of Negeri Sembilan, which is a royal title of Yang Tuan Besar or Yang di-Pertuan Besar of Negeri Sembilan. This is actually a royal title, or unofficially a Grand Ruler of Negeri Sembilan. He is actually elected by the council of ruling chiefs in the state of Negeri Sembilan called the Undangs. And this royal practice of electing their grand ruler dated way back to 1773 until today. Well, this is an interesting looking building, beautiful architecture. It is actually a government office called Wisma Negeri, where you can make your ID. We locals each will have to carry an ID called My Card, and this is where you come to either renew or replace or make a new ID for yourself. Wisma Negeri. Okay, let's walk around along this residential area and see what we can discover, because this is the first time I'm here, so I want to walk along this residential area. Converted to a legal farm. From the look of it, these houses are easily 60, 70 years old. The materials those days when they used to construct houses or to build houses are pretty strong. You can see they are old tiles that has resisted the weather, the hot, the rainy, the cold. So you don't get much of this material nowadays. The bricks they use mostly are sand bricks nowadays because they are short of clay bricks. So the houses built in modern times are not as hardy and resistant as those built years ago. That's a school there. You see a school there. In Malaysia, there is something peculiar with the Chinese ethnic group. They have associations for their various dialects, like in this case Persatuan Hainan Negeri Sembilan, which translated means association for the Hainanese in Negeri Sembilan. That is the Negeri Sembilan Police Headquarters. No, would you believe it? This is actually a clinic, a government clinic. It is quite misleading. It looks quite pretty, quite nice architecture, but it is a clinic. And of course, this is a river in front of the clinic. You can see fishes swimming in the water. So that means to say the water is not very polluted and the fish can still survive. At least I can vouch that this river is cleaner than the river Gombak or Klang River in Kuala Lumpur. But they are doing something about it. The River of Life project is a project that cleans up the rivers Gombak and Klang in Kuala Lumpur to make it a tourist attraction, and it's lighted up at night. Okay, this is a school, ACS school, Anglo Chinese school in long. ACS is in short, an acronym for Anglo Chinese school. And in front of us is a terminal shopping center. Okay, I show you this is to point out to you there is a free bus service in the city of Suramban. You can find those in Kuala Lumpur, in Selangor, another state, and many other states and districts. This is an effort by the government to ease the burden of the people by offering free transportation by bus. And for a senior citizen, if you have to pay for your fare, you pay half price. And if you are a student, you get a discount too. This is what the government does, or the various state government or the central government does to ease the burden of the people. And this is a very big bus terminal, and needless to mention, this will go to every nooks and corners, or even outstation from here. Bus and train are relatively cheap in this country, in Malaysia. The fare is affordable as compared to travel by air. Someone told me to follow this tunnel and you will end up at the railway station. So let's find out. How do you go to the railway station? Station kereta api mana? Okay, thank you. This is a field. Behind this wall is a field. We are walking on our way to the railway station. As you can see, it is a field, a football field. Okay, we have finally arrived at the Suramban Railway Station, which was how I came just earlier today. So I'm going back by train, and incidentally a little bit information about this very old railway station. It was built during the British colonial times between 1904 and 1910. So this is a very old station, servicing from north to south of the peninsula. Now let's go over to the board here, see whether we can extract a bit more information about this very old Seremban railway station. We will end our vlog here. Seremban railway station, Suramban Heritage Trail. Okay, now Suramban railway station was constructed between 1904 and 1910, as I said earlier, at a cost of 26,000 ringgit. At that time, it is a substantial amount of money. Kereta Api Tanah Melayu Berhad KTMB then took over responsibilities of managing all lines in Malaya. At that time, this country is known as Malaya. In 1948, the station continued to offer intercity train services along the north-south line, as well as offering goods deliveries. These are some very old pictures of the railway station. Seremban railway station between 1890 until 1894. Very old, and I like to look at old pictures because I sometimes wonder where was I at that time. It is a mystery. And let's take a look at the facade of this station before we end this vlog. As you can see, they have retained the old structure, and it is an architecture that is preserved by this act. That means nothing can be done to pull it down, or to destroy it, or to deface it. Okay, so with that, we'll end our vlog here. Thank you very much for coming along for this 25 minutes tour of Suramban.